All right. This video is on pattern recognition database. This is a really important one to understand because as useful as courses are, you cannot skip the process of truly understanding what someone is saying firsthand. Words can only convey maybe 2% of what you need to understand to truly conceptualize anything that I'm saying to you. So if I say to you, you need to buy low and sell high, you understand only 2% of what I just said. Because there's 98% of that concept around buying low and selling high, which you cannot learn until you have downloaded a pattern recognition database, right? And what is a pattern recognition database? A pattern recognition database is basically you live life and you have 5 senses, and these 5 senses take in data: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, right? The 5 senses. They take in data from the world, you interpret the data, you find patterns in the data of what is good and bad, and then whenever you see the same things again using the senses, your brain recognizes the pattern and it notifies you. So for example, imagine back in the caveman days, you're roaming around hunting animals with your friend and you see a lion. You've never seen a lion before. Your friend gets chased and eaten, you watch him get eaten, you run away, you survive, now you're like, holy shit, I now know I need to stay away from lions. Because your 5 senses have interpreted the lion, what it sounds like, what it looks like, maybe what it smells like. You know, all these different senses, right? You now know what the pattern of what you need to avoid is in the circumstance of a lion. So if you ever hear the same footstep pattern, if you ever hear the roar of a lion, if you ever see the lion again, your pattern recognition database will kick in and it will notify you instantly to stay away. And in investing, it's a very similar thing. How do I know what to buy and what to sell? Well, it's just pattern recognition database. I can determine if something is a good or bad investment within 30 seconds. It does not take long because I just am using my subconscious pattern recognition database to help me make decisions. Decisions do not take a long time. When you know your shit, you can know the answer to everything almost immediately, right? This concept of needing to research and and sleep on a decision. No, your brain knows what you need to do instantly if you have downloaded a sufficient pattern recognition database and you have sufficient intuition to dictate the decision. And if you look at every single good investor in the world, they all have the ability to determine if an investment is good or bad within 30 seconds, right? You can put the investment, the thesis in front of an investor, and in 30 seconds, they will tell you, fuck, this is really good, or this is absolutely terrible. Because they have intuition. And intuition is the highest form of knowledge. It is the deepest form of knowledge that you can possibly utilize to make a decision. And I made a meme. I like making memes to help you understand things. I made this meme to help you conceptualize what I'm saying. So when people are deciding, let's say, any investment-related decision, what to buy, when to buy, etc., the lowest, most retard level, most fucking despicable... Actually, no. I wouldn't say that. Okay, if you copy someone, it's actually not bad if you copy someone, but you have to do it correctly. But let's say someone goes on Twitter and just copies someone on Twitter, right? That's the most retarded, low-level sort of decision-making process that you can follow, right? You are outsourcing conviction to a stranger on the internet. You are literally a tiny little monkey brain, right? That's what this level is. The next level is critical thinking. So critical thinking is using your conscious brain to analyze. It's you consciously looking at the data, taking it into your conscious brain, and then deciding what it is that you want to do. Okay? It's better than copying some dude on Twitter, but it's not the best. And then the next level is deciding from instinct. So instinct is the generational wisdom that comes downloaded at birth, right? Why is it that when a fucking ant is born, it can just immediately know how to walk? Why is it that when a baby is born, it just starts crying? How does a baby know how to cry? You know, this is instinctual things downloaded at birth. It's like the programming, it's like the software. When you buy a new computer, it's got software pre-installed, and then you add the things afterwards, right? You add all the programs after. This is the next level, and you can use instinct to help determine decisions. Now, when you think about it, using instinct in investment decisions, it's actually the worst way that you could approach investing, okay? Because your instincts generally run completely opposite to what you need to do in markets. So for example, your instinct is to follow the herd. That's an instinct. That's not something you learn. That's something that's ingrained in you. You follow the herd. That's why everyone wants to do it. So if you implement follow the herd in your investing, you're just going to buy at the top and sell at the bottom. You're going to only do things when it is the consensus decision that it's a good decision, which is never when it's a correct decision. So if you decide things from instinct in investing, you're going to lose money. But the useful thing with instinct is if you do the opposite of what your instinct is, you actually end up making the right decision. So that's why it's above critical thinking. You can actually counter-trade your own instinct because you can never remove instinct. You can simply understand it for what it is. And then the highest level of decision-making in investing, the one that you ultimately want to get to, is your intuition. So you can see my intuition told me to buy, right? Your intuition is the fastest, quickest, and easiest and most accurate way to make decisions. Because intuition is a perpetually accumulated wisdom from lived experiences which manifest in our subconscious mind. So you live your life, you make mistakes, you learn from the mistake, you remember the mistake, you've downloaded the memory and the lesson, and then you do that 10,000 times over, and you actually pick up patterns. And this is what I refer to as the pattern recognition database, right? You live an experience like the lion, you know not to go near lions, you've now built an intuition. You now know just intuitively that when you hear the rustling of the bushes and you hear the little sound of the lion going, "Arr," you know to run. The intuition tells you, holy fuck, I need to just start running. I don't know why, but I just need to run. You don't see the tiger, you don't know that the tiger or the lion is even there, but you're already being told to run away. That's because your intuition, this deep-rooted, accumulated wisdom, is manifesting subconsciously, right? In the conscious mind, you look at something and you consciously recognize it. The subconscious mind is a process happening separate from you, right? The subconscious mind is ticking over without you even knowing. Your subconscious mind it's like a separate you. It's not even you. It's like a different human in your brain telling you, hey, start running. The lion's here. I know you can't see it and I can't tell you that the lion's here, but just, you got to start running. That's intuition. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a quote here on intuition, which was from a book called, I think it's from a book called The 30-Second Mind, and it's a really interesting book. I haven't read it, but I read the summary, a little bit of a summary on it, and it's really interesting. It breaks down how, you can basically make all the best decisions within 30 seconds. It aligns with a lot of what I've learned. So let's give this a read. That is why intuition is so useful. While you are sifting through the data, your gut feeling, as we often say, has accumulated a whole archive of undetectable signals, some positive, some negative. For deciding, the gut will then either confirm or deny the preliminary decisions of the rational self. All decisions should be considered provisional, subject to the approval of intuition. If you feel that doubt arises, examine it. It may be fear, a habitual reaction based on long-established mistakes in your self-image, or it may be the wisdom of intuition that guides you in the right direction. So I think the key point here is, for deciding, the gut instinct confirms or denies the preliminary decisions of the rational self. So to put that simply, because I know you read that and didn't understand what I just said, it went in one ear and out the other, so let me explain it. Consciously, we go, okay, do I buy this coin or not? Consciously, okay, yes, I want to buy the coin. But subconsciously, in your intuition, maybe your brain's saying, nah, I'm not sure about it. There's a level of conviction that you don't feel like you have. That is your subconscious mind not giving you the approval through intuition that you should be making this decision. And what you need to do is, instead of listening to the conscious brain of, objectively, I look at the data and it makes sense, don't listen to that side. You need to listen to the intuition of, this doesn't feel right. The gut feeling. Now, feeling in investing is a tough concept because the worst investors use feelings and the best of the best investors use feelings. They both use feeling, but the feeling of the beginner investor is based off of instinct,
and the feeling of the advanced investor is based off of intuition. Can you see the difference? A beginner investor will feel like buying at the top because instinctually they had to follow the herd. The best investors listen to the feeling of wanting to buy because they've downloaded an intuition from lived experience that they need to buy when it feels the worst to buy. That's the key difference between a good investor and a bad investor. It's listening to instinct versus listening to their intuition through lived experience, through the pattern recognition database that they have downloaded from thousands of hours of making mistakes and learning and understanding what they need to not do. Okay? So that's what it's saying here. Because you need to understand that the brain is a very complicated, nuanced, and complex organ. I guess you could call it an organ. I don't know. Maybe let's call it an organ, right? It's so more complex than we can possibly understand. And the way that I like to look at it is